Hey guys, Razer Mike here, welcome to my channel, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about which camera should you buy. Should it be the R5 or the R6? Cue the intro. So I'm not going to get too much into the technical specs of these cameras because there's a ton of videos out there that get into the minor granular detail and the tech specs on both of these cameras, which I think it doesn't tell the whole story. You guys really have to look a little deeper, read between the lines, right? So let's talk about the R6 for a second. The R6 is $1,200 cheaper, and it is a much better low light camera because of the 20 megapixel sensor. It allows more light into each individual pixels as opposed to the 45 megapixel R5. Yeah, I mean, you would have never thought. You always think more is better, but that's not necessarily the case all the time, right? The other thing you got to consider is, of course, the R6 is $1,200 cheaper. If you pick the R6, you have $1,200 that you saved that you can dedicate to getting some good glass. Get an extra lens that you've always wanted, whether it's a focal length that you're missing in your creative process. So that is the upside of getting the R6. You have all of the benefits of the autofocus, you have the speed burst, you have great low light performance over the R5. You save $1,200. Do you need 45 megapixels? No, 20 megapixels is more than enough. You shouldn't be taking full landscape shots and then cropping into the person, into your subject. You're basically killing all of those pixels by cropping in. You should always crop with your feet. Meaning, if I want to focus, if I want to take a tight shot of that person, I walk closer to them and take the tight shot. So I'm utilizing as many of the pixels as possible as I take the shot. Don't be shooting wide and then cropping in. That is not a good practice. So why would you get the R5? So why get the R5? So the R5 has 45 megapixels as opposed to 20 megapixel. It can shoot 4K 60 frames per second, as much as, of course, it can shoot up to 8K. But then again, you gotta ask yourself, so what? Like, who shoots 4K? Like, not even Hollywood is shooting 4K movies, at least not all of them. They're not really shooting 4K movies. Shooting in 4K just fills up your hard drive, makes it harder to post-produce any of your stuff because you have to pre-render it in some other format for your editing software to be able to play it back smoothly. So there's like a huge proxy you got to put in there just to get started to work. So that's a big pain point right there as far as 4K. It fills up your hard drive. That's another problem. So really, I really do not see the benefits of shooting 4K because that has all those negative pain points going for it. Now, you can always shoot 1080p, especially in these Canon cameras that have a very high video bitrate. So you can shoot at 1080p and then just output to 4K. You kind of have the best of both worlds there. You're shooting a smaller resolution, and because the bitrate is so high, you can upscale to 4K and you don't have to kill your hard drive or kill your process. So yeah, I mean, just to wrap it up, this was obviously a short video that I wanted to get out there. Just like a common sense video, guys. I mean, you do not need, bigger is not always better. Just make sense of it. Needless to say, you guys know exactly what I picked. I picked the R6. This is what I'm shooting on right now, my R6. It's a fabulous camera. The autofocus is on point, and there's nothing negative to say about the R6. So get the R6, you won't regret it. Razer Mike here, and I'm out.